to just go ahead and get started. So thank you guys all for joining us. I can't remember when is the last time we did this, but it's always really great to get our nutrition team together with our agencies, with our food distributions, and really just, this is more a refresher and a reminder, like we are here to support you guys in any way that we can regarding food safety, regarding any way that we can enrich your food programs. This webinar will be recorded, so if you do want to have it sent out to other staff members or volunteers, we'll have it accessible for you guys in the hopefully on the resource page for agencies. Few housekeepings, even though we have done this for the last few years. Everybody is currently muted. However, if you do have a question for us and you want to chat, feel free to unmute yourself. We just have everybody muted right now just for the sake of not having any background noise. We do want to have it interactive. So if you do have any questions or any comments, feel free to unmute and ask us the question. You can do it using the chat again, or you can just go ahead and unmute yourself. But you don't have to wait till the end of the webinar. I know we are going to have a Q&A, but not necessarily, don't have to wait till the end to ask. I always feel like if you're like me, I'm going to forget that question. So if you have a question for us, or if you have a comment for us, feel free to just ask it. Go ahead and unmute yourself or pop it into the chat. Most of you guys already know there's different views. So the speaker view, will you only be able to view the speaker, or the gallery view, which I always enjoy. I always like to see who's on the call and what colleagues are here, what partners are here. I always like to check out the gallery view. And then also this webinar will be recorded. So you will be hearing from our whole nutrition team today, which I would say is a special treat. I guess I'm a little biased, I'll have to say that. We want to be a familiar face for you all. If we're not already a familiar face, we've been in the nutrition department for a total of probably 20 plus years combined between all of us. So my name is Alex. I am the Director of Community Nutrition. We have Diana Garcia, the Nutrition Manager that covers Santa Clara County. We have Evelyn Tai that is the Nutrition Manager that covers San Mateo County, and Mary Dow, the Nutrition Manager that covers Santa Clara County. And you'll also see some program folks that are also going to be on this call as well. And the part of the nutrition team, we are small. We are small but mighty, and the big part is really to help enrich your food distribution programs, right? These are the food programs that you guys tirelessly do day in and day out. And a big part of our job is to provide this really great resource for clients, for our partners, to really have this education and this really deep foundation around cooking, around wellness and health, and of course around food safety. Some of the ways that we do that is you might have seen us do cooking demonstrations, handing out food demos. We've got some wonderful recipes that we hand out. We help provide guidance around food safety measures. Really, the idea is to promote a overall healthy and well-being for our clients and for these food distributions, right? It's really about enriching the client experience and being able to have clients go home knowing what to do with the food items, preventing food waste, and all of that good stuff. Here are some agenda items today. So we're going to talk about best practices to follow. Some of it is going to be a refresher. Some of it's you're going to leave being like, I already knew this stuff. And if you did know this stuff, and if you do practice it, I think that's wonderful. Some of it's going to be some new content. Some of it's going to be some new stuff that we have added to our new training. We're going to cover preventing food waste, and why we wanted to highlight that is that's one of the #1 questions or comments that we get around expiration dates. We'll cover the Nutrition Center and let you know what we have that's brand new and updated on the Nutrition Center. We're going to save some time for Q&As if we don't get to answer it during the webinar. Then the last part that I always like to wait is for the raffle. So we'll have a raffle prize for some participants. So, we can't emphasize enough the importance of food safety, right? It's so important to us that we actually had to make a whole hour webinar around food safety. And really, I just want to emphasize, and I'm going to go ahead and read this slide. Really just emphasize on the importance of it and why we should always keep this first and forefront with our food distributions. We are responsible for making sure food is distributed safely to our clients, many of whom are more susceptible to foodborne illnesses. Our trainings and resources are used as guidance to ensure best practices are always in place when handling foods out at our food distributions. So I just want to emphasize on that we want to share these best practices, not just during the training, not just during the webinar, but we are a resource for you guys throughout the year, right? You can reach out to us, questions come up, concerns come up, take photos, and we can definitely guide you guys to ensure that we are keeping our community safe, that we are keeping our clients safe. We have a brand new food safety training that I am extremely excited about. And it has been quite a few years since we updated this training with new information. It is up and live on the Nutrition Center as of last night. So I do really recommend that you guys go on the Nutrition Center and take a look at the brand new food safety training. Currently, the recommendation is, as you guys all know, is to have at least one person from your site to be trained. And that has been the compliance standards for as long as I remember. I've been with the food bank for 8 years. Nothing has changed right now, but I do want to say that we are currently reviewing those standards just to see, what is the best measure to take, really to ensure that the person that is certified with the training is also hands-on. And also, what about the other handful of volunteers that may not be trained but are also handling food? So though the compliance standard is just for one person, I still highly recommend that all that are handling food get to view the food safety training. Okay, we've made it pretty easy. I'm hoping pretty accessible. Is 35 minutes long. Yeah, I want you guys to check it out because my colleague Mary has done just a wonderful job and got some really great information on it. You'll also receive a certificate of completion once you've completed it, once you've taken the short questionnaire, and if you follow up asking for the certificate, we can get one of those for you. All right. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Mary, and she's going to share some other wonderful information on food safety.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to go over about food quality and distribution. So for food quality, we want to make, so majority of the produce that we receive are considered a number 2 quality. This just means that we won't get that perfect look or same shape that you would see in a grocery store. So however, even with these defects or unusual shapes and sizes, I'm sure some of you guys might have seen like the giant zucchinis or very small onions. So even with these defects or shape and sizes, everything still contains the same nutritional value and is still safe to eat. A lot of the time, when produce is received to us in our warehouses, and it may be perfectly fine then and acceptable, but once we packed it and then we get it to you guys, it might not always be in the best condition anymore. So we highly recommend that you have your volunteers sort through the spoiled produce and to make sure that we're able to give the clients the best quality as possible. If you're unsure, please take a picture and send it to your program manager or coordinator for further clarifications. Okay. And then we have best practices during your distribution. So here are some guidelines to ensure best practices are held during your distribution. Making sure that unboxed items or produce cases, which large openings at the bottom, such as the broccoli, the eggplant, or the celery, they tend to have really large holes in the bottom. We don't want to place those on the ground directly. So please place those on either a pallet, table, tarp, or a clean flat cardboard. And please do not reuse the poultry, meat, or egg boxes, since this can cause cross-contamination and get our clients sick. And then for the box items, such as dry goods, milk crates, or even pre-boxed produce, these can temporarily be placed on the ground during the distribution, since it is going to be there for a short period of time only. And then I want to emphasize again, please do not reuse the chicken boxes as a cardboard storage or hand them out to clients, just because there might be some ice crystals or melted blood into the boxes that we can't visually see with our eyes, but it might be there. So to prevent anybody from getting sick, please just discard them as soon as the chicken are out of the boxes and bagged. So that way everybody is safe. Okay. And then we have distributing food safely. So for on-site procedures, if possible, try to limit your distribution to 2 hours to best control food temperature. I know this isn't always possible, but when it is, please do so. Gloves and sanitizer should also be used by all volunteers handling food. But then again, if you do have volunteers not handling food items, such as like if you're getting canned goods or if you're having them do the trash, it's up to you to decide whether or not you want them to have gloves, because I know right now gloves are kind of hard to get by. So it's up to your own discretion whether you guys want to have them wear gloves or not. Have volunteers inspect the food and sort out any spoiled produce. And then meat and poultry are bagged separately from fresh food items and then placed on a clean tarp or a table. Do not put them back in the boxes that they came in. And then for the thermal blankets, if you do have them available, please use them. If not, please reach out to your program manager or grocery rescue for more information on how you can acquire some. All right.
Mary, can I just emphasize, like this slide here is we're really just highlighting some of the best practices that we have on our training. So for instance, each one of these bullets is going to go more in depth. They'll be like a whole slide. So for instance, bullet number 3, volunteers inspect food quality. There is an actual rule that we go by, and there's probably 2 slides, I think, on the training that specifically talks about food quality. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to add any questions to the chat, but just know that we're just highlighting some of the practices, but we definitely go way more into detail on the training.
Thanks, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the last one is ensure safe practice on site. So these are a few action items that we wrote up for you to ensure that safe practices are on site during your distribution. So have a huddle before the distribution to start off by thanking the volunteers for being there, assign any roles you may have for them, go over some basic rules such as hand washing, using sanitizer, when to change their gloves, how to properly distribute the food to the clients, and then also clean up. This will also be a good time for you to review the food safety checklist. We do have those online as well, and appoint a food safety lead aside from yourself. This will save you some time if you're not available in the moment, then somebody else can handle the situation for you. We also recommend that you have at least 2 or more staff or regular volunteers on site to take our annual food safety training, aside from yourself. So if you're not available to answer the questions, they can take the time to address the issue in your place, and then also be your helping hand in any situation that you guys do get into. Take the time to inspect your inventory and deliveries prior to the distribution. So this all goes back to our food quality, just making sure that we want to provide the clients with the best quality possible during the distribution. And then, of course, when in doubt, contact your program manager or coordinator if you're unsure about something. We're always here to help you, so please reach out to us if you're not sure about something. All right, and now I'm going to hand it off to my colleague, Evelyn.
Thanks, Mary. Hi, everyone. So in this section, I'm actually going to move it back to slide. We're going to go over the different phrases found on food date labels. So basically, what the heck do companies even mean when they say, right, best by, sell by, expired by, all of these different phrases? And with so much information out there, this tends to cause quite a bit of confusion, especially for those who receive food from us. So when it comes to best of use by date, this date does indicate when the food item will be at its peak quality or have optimal flavor. It is not a safety or purchase by date. After this date passes, the food is still safe to eat, but the quality and freshness does begin to diminish. That's when things start tasting a little more stale, a little bit, not quite as umami, I guess I would like to say sometimes. And then when it comes to best of use by dates, these are commonly found on items such as crackers, cookies, cereals, and I would say also other shelf-stable goods. And then when it comes to used by or expired by dates, this is the last date recommended for the use of the product by its peak quality. So again, this use by date is not a safety date, except when it comes to baby formula, baby food, nutritional supplements, nutritional drinks. For these baby and nutritional items, they should be discarded when you see that it's past the date on the labels. And this is simply because, let's just take, for example, the baby formula, right? This is going to be a majority source of nutrients for growing babies. The last thing we want is to not be precisely sure what we're feeding them, right? So accuracy is really important, and why take that risk? Okay. Oh, and forgot to mention, so another items that will typically show used by or expired by are lunch meats, bacon, and of course the baby formula, baby foods, nutritional food items. Okay. So moving on to the sell-by date. This date informs our stores how long to display the food item before pulling it from the shelf, not a safety date. So often stores will donate these food items and they are still safe to eat. Sell-by dates can typically be found on foods such as breads, milks, yogurts, cheeses, eggs, and your packaged salad mixes that we sometimes see. And then for freeze by date on products, this indicates when the food item should be frozen to maintain peak quality of not being consumed soon. So food can, even when frozen in the freezer, food can still lose its quality or texture over time, right? It is not infallible. I'm sure there are plenty of us who have left an open bag of something like the carrots, and you find that it starts absorbing that freezer smell, getting that freezer taste, turning a little weird in texture, right? So that is just a show of how even despite being in the freezer, quality and texture can get impacted. And I'm just going to take a moment here just to give a little reminder. When it comes to preventing foodborne illnesses, right? I mean, while we're talking about food safety label dates, date labels, please make sure to defrost food properly, to cook your food thoroughly, and to store leftovers in the fridge, preferably in airtight containers. If you're also wondering, hey, what does this even entail? We do have resources coming up that we'll discuss later on, such as our poultry handout on how to properly defrost meats. And speaking of handouts, so here are a couple of examples of our food safety flyers that can be found on our nutrition centers. On the right, we have a "When should I eat this" flyer. This is one of our most popular ones, and clients tend to find this extremely helpful when we pass them out at sites. It is available in 4 different languages: English, Spanish, Chinese, and Vietnamese. And if you're wondering, hey, is there a way I can get a poster size of this? We are on it. They are going to be coming up later on soon. And then on the left-hand side, one of our newer resources, Reducing Food Waste. This is a pretty cool handout in terms of just giving some good general tips, such as FIFO, so first in, first out, right? Rotating the foods in your fridge, your pantry, to ensure that the older foods get eaten and not accidentally tossed out when you're like later on, oops, had no idea that that was back there, right? And it looks like we have, are there questions?
Yeah, somebody was asking about how long after the date can you use the milk, and I think the flyer answered. I think the flyer answered.
Perfect.
It.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. But just in case people are having a hard time to see, because I know sometimes these screen shares can be small. So you'll see on this "When should I eat this" flyer, milk alternatives, hard cheeses, milk 7 days, up to 7 days, and then hard or semi-hard cheeses 1 to 2 months. Even I'm having a hard time looking at that. I wish I got that memorized, folks, but that would make for a great encyclopedia knowledge. And then I touched base about the poster size. They are coming up soon. Thank you, Mary. All right. And if there's no more questions, hopefully I didn't miss anything. Okay.
And these Evelyn, currently come in 4 languages for them, right? I don't know if you mentioned that, sorry.
Oh, no, but totally okay to repeat because somebody might have missed it. So again, it's English, Spanish, Chinese, and Vietnamese. Currently, we don't have, unless I'm mistaken, if somebody wants to jump in, any of these translated in Russian, but maybe with a lot of, requests, maybe we can look into that, right? Because accessibility or more accessibility is always good. All right. So one of the most commonly asked questions, having, mentioned all of these food date labels, the fact that there are not necessarily food safety dates, I would have to say is, why did I receive this ODA inspired food? What's going on, right? So our answer here is really just more about keeping you guys informed. So here at Second Harvest, we do, of course, want to ensure that the food being received is not only nutritious, but also safe to eat. We definitely understand the concern about receiving foods, especially for our clients, right, that may appear expired with a date, with a pass by date directly on the packaging. They can see it. As you guys learned in this section, most food dates, of course, outside of baby food, baby formula, nutritional food items, are not safety dates, but more to inform you guys about quality of the food. So food is still safe to eat past these dates. And this is also something that's been provided by Feeding America, a quote by them, I believe. However, remember that if any product, especially bread, I find, even before their printed date, if it doesn't look good, it doesn't taste right, doesn't smell right, when in doubt, just throw it out, all right? And then of course, all said and done, what we're trying to do here is trying our best to inform, to equip our community members with this knowledge, but at the end of the day, it is still their prerogative to choose what they feel is best for themselves, their families, which sometimes may err on the side of caution, and that's okay too. But at least they are equipped with the knowledge. And let's see.
I think that's really important, Evelyn, that last piece that you shared, that ultimately we do our part and we share it, and we share these guidance and this information, and really hope that it will help prevent food waste and give them a clear understanding, but ultimately respecting their decision, whether they decide to either A, take the food, and then B, actually use the food. And we want clients to use the food feeling good about it and not feeling, we don't want to add any additional stress to it, right?
Yes, absolutely. And then we have Anna here. I wanted to share her comment about she feels it's important clients understand this. They hear that clients throw away food, safe food, because they don't understand the labels, or they think Second Harvest or partner agencies are trying to give them bad food. Yeah, so again, re-emphasizing what Alex just mentioned. Thank you for sharing that. And it's all about just spreading and sharing what we know, the most up-to-date information, so that people can be informed and make the most informed decisions, right? Because unfortunately, we can't be there every minute of every day going, no. All right, and then now I'm gonna pass it on to my colleague Diana, and she's gonna share with you all of our wonderful resources.
Yes, thank you, Evelyn. Good afternoon, everyone. It is great to see you all here and to see so many familiar faces. So we're super proud of our nutrition center, which was introduced during the pandemic, because this is a way for us to indirectly communicate with clients. And we have over 100 recipes in our nutrition center, between videos and just regular recipes. And we have created these recipes thinking about the needs of our clients, right? Sometimes we give out a lot of one specific food item, or sometimes it is unfamiliar items for clients. So you will find squashes, you will find different veggies. We have some recipes that also have meat in it. And the ultimate idea for us is to clients will be able to take full advantage of these recipes and these important resources. So within the Nutrition Center, I know many of you have been in it, but if you haven't, please feel free to scan the QR code, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. Just take your phone and put it in a picture mode, and then it will take you directly to it. And then once you're there, you will have different options to scroll, or not scroll, but to filters that are going to take you where you want to be. So some of those filters are cook time. So the cook time will be from 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. And then you can also sort it by ingredient or multiple ingredients. So if the client has potatoes, but it also has tuna, canned tuna or something like that, they can put several ingredients in that bar, and it will default to the recipes that will have that. We also have cuisine. Another filter is cuisine type, which is going to tell the client or is going to take the client to the cuisine that they like: Asian, Latin American, American, some Asian as well, Mediterranean, Arab. And so this is a really good filter for clients to be able to go to or to honor their culture and still cook with the food that we provide along the lines of just honoring their culture. Also, we have another filter that is going to be about special diet. So this is vegan, vegetarian, dairy-free. And then the other there is a total of 5 filters, and the other one will be the equipment. So if they want a recipe that requires no cooking, or they have a microwave or an oven, something like that, they can just put that in the bar to select the filter, and it will prompt them to the recipes with that characteristic. Okay, so we also have flyers that we can send to your agency upon request, so the clients can have the QR code, and it will take them to the Nutrition Center directly. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, we really want our clients to have access and to know about this important resource. We have tasted these recipes personally, many of them, and these recipes have been created with the help of health ambassadors, which are our volunteers in the nutrition department. Also, some agencies have just share recipes with us as well. And they, as I mentioned, they are tasted, they are fun and easy to follow. And then we also have nutrition tips and handouts and online presentations. That's another important resource that you can find here. And then information of food on food safety and food date labels. As the one that Evelyn showed previously. That's the address that we have. The ingredients that we use here, again, I want to reiterate, are the ones that we distribute and are commonly found in the distributions in your agencies. Yes, so what else? Do you have any questions about this or about the Nutrition Center? Yes, okay, thank you, Alex. So yes, please submit your recipe so we can highlight it here. We love, and you have one-on-one contacts with many clients, and sometimes, you know, like they want to know more, or they want to have more recipes with cabbage or quinoa or squash or something like that. So we will love to hear from you. Please let us know, or also submit your recipes.
Diana, oh, sorry, can you just go back? I just want to highlight also that there is 4 tabs. So we're highlighting, you see the screenshot of the recipe tab. And then I know it's really small to see, but the next tab over is the nutrition education tab, followed by the food safety tab, and then followed by client stories. So just wanted to let you know that there is something for everybody on the Nutrition Center. So for the nutrition, I don't know if you want to mention a little bit about what's in each tab, if you wanted to.
Sure. So in the nutrition education part, we have presentations that we have created. They are also, oh, and that brings me to something else, because we have presentations in Spanish and in English, but also in the Nutrition Center, right when you are on the main page, you can select a language, and we have tons of languages that clients can choose from. So that's an option for all the recipes that we have. But also within the nutrition education, we have some languages that for the presentations, I know they're in English and Spanish as of right now. The food safety, in the food safety tab, you will find the flyers, well, our food safety training that is, we're uploading a brand new updated food safety training that is going to be available under this tab. And you will have also the flyers and different resources that you can print. And then the stories. We are working on stories that can help highlight the culture and the experience, food and culture experience of our clients, to just bring more light to those who we serve. So far, we have 4 stories, actually 3, and one of them is being uploaded. So those are, and those are stories from clients that we work with, and they suggest a recipe, and then within the story you will find a link to bring it to the recipe that they suggest. Okay, so we also have other different resources. We have presentations, cooking demonstrations. We go to health fairs. And if you feel like you want to have these resources, please contact us. We have a form that I will take you to after this slide that you can fill out and request the specific nutrition education service that you would like to have. In the presentations, we can work with you to customize the presentations for the population that you serve. Some examples of it are the anti-inflammatory lifestyle or chronic disease prevention and management. We also are working on updating a presentation of how to read food labels. And then obviously we have the food safety training that we can bring to your agency. All the presentations that we give to clients have a cooking component, and that can be along with a presentation, or it can be just a cooking demonstration. And the cooking demonstrations, again, we work with you because you know your clients best, so you can tell us. We are not just distributing certain items as easily as others. So, and if you tell us, for example, basil, I can see basil, we don't distribute much basil, but onions, or there are too many onions and we don't know, clients are not taking them, you can tell us and we can customize that cooking demonstration for the population that you serve. Also, we're working a lot with the in-house population. So if you serve that specific population, we have special recipes that require no cooking. We keep in mind that storage is a challenge for them. So we really take into consideration the needs of the client when designing the presentations and the cooking demonstrations that we bring to your agency. And then again, like health fairs, if you are if you're having a special event, you can let us know and we can bring our materials and everything that we have to you. Okay, and this is the form, that the request form for nutrition education. So you can just fill out this form, and we will be able to, and we will contact you to coordinate with you what's the best nutrition education resource that we'll bring to our clients. So that's it. Any comments or questions about this? Okay, so in the chat, you will find the link to the form if you would like to have this one of the services that I just mentioned brought to your agency. Okay, so these are the available resources. So please email us if you would like to coordinate to send you copies. You can also visit our nutrition center in this link or where it says partner resources. We have recipe cards, we have nutrition handouts, food safety handouts. When should I eat these? Keep your food safe. What is a food allergen, poultry safety? Those are the handouts that we can send you for food safety. And then for the food safety checklist, the agency checklist, free groceries checklist, home delivery checklist, and the product recall guidelines for agencies and sites and handling recall items. This is our email, which is nutrition@sfb.org. And please email us if you have any questions. If for some reason you didn't scan the QR code, or you need a handout, or you forgot how to request nutrition education, we'll be able to send you everything by email. Any questions so far about this? Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna have a session for Q&A, and I'm gonna hand it over to Alex.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's a lot of information. We tried to share a lot of our newest updated information in a very short period of time. I think we're doing really good on time, so I want to leave this space open for you guys if you guys do have any questions. I do want to really highlight again the importance of this very short and quick webinar, but it is that we have our food safety is still a top priority, and we want to make it a top priority. We hear that it can be challenging sometimes to, possibly take the time to do the training in the midst of, getting your food distribution done and having a life outside of volunteering or outside of, your work. And we can't tell you enough that, preventing a foodborne illness outbreak is really important, and thinking about the clients that we serve, how I mentioned earlier, more a susceptible population. Even when you think of compromised immune system, those with diabetes, the elderly, the young children, these are all our clients that are more prone to getting a more severe illness. So that's why we bring us all together, to really be sure to embed this every day in the work that we do. And for those that are doing it tirelessly, we do thank you. We do have a couple questions that came in. Some of the questions that came in through the registration, we either already reached out to you, we will be getting back to you because we did have to send it over to another department just to make sure that we had the right answers for you. So you either have heard from us or will be hearing from us shortly. But here are some other questions that came up. Sorry, let me move this. So someone asked, how are the plans progressing for the 2024 rollout of the SB 1383 bill in restaurants, hotels, and cafeterias? Will Second Harvest be the umbrella, or are the agencies on their own? So what I have heard and what I know of, and I had to reach out to another colleague about this. So currently, we don't intend to proactively reach out to any restaurants, hotels, or cafeterias. However, we do feel like those three will be reaching out to us, and we are agencies are under no obligation to accept any of these donations. They can say no. However, if they do decide to bring in these type of donations, we can help them with training, help them with any other process in order to ensure like food safety is taken care of and food is being distributed in a in a safe manner. If agencies want to work on their own with the SB 1383 rollout, of course, they are free to do so. Hope that answered the question. If not, feel free to email us and I can get a little bit more information on that. I'm still learning quite a bit about the SB 1383. Someone asked about the kind of thermometers that we use for the fridge and the freezers, and you can get them relatively cheap. You can get the little tube thermometers. That's what I have. That cost me like $2, and I've had it in my refrigerator for years. You can get the dial thermometer or the digital, and they all work great. And again, they range from like $2 to $15. Someone asked, do frozen items need to remain completely frozen to accept? The short answer is yes. So this is a rule and regulation coming from Feeding America, not just from us. So food items should be received frozen solid, not partially solid. And this is really to ensure that the food was stored and handled properly. Really want to ensure that food wasn't sitting out for, in the danger zone for 4 or 5 hours and then placed back in the freezer. So really want to make sure that we receive food that is frozen solid. Not sure if there's any other questions in the chat, but I'm happy to answer anything else.
There's a few questions.
Yeah, do you want to go ahead and read them out?
Can you review food safety guidelines for dented cans? I just replied to this saying that it is covered in our food safety training. We do have handouts if you'll like them as well. Not sure, Alex, you want to go over it real quick though?
Yeah, I mean, just with the dented cans, it really depends on the severity of the dent. If there is a can and you dropped it right away and you notice a dent, that is going to be safe to consume. However, if you notice a pretty severe dent around the seam of around the seam of the body, or around the seam or on the body, you want to discard it. So what can happen with that, it's not for looks, it is 100% for safety, because air can slowly get into the can and cause bacteria. And sometimes you'll see the can expand because the gases have expanded so much inside the can. So you want to make sure that you toss it out. Again, that's very different than you have a can and you dropped it and you're going to use it.
The next question is, does the donated food law provide cover for food donated through SB 1383? Sorry,
what was the question?
Does the donated food law provide cover for food donated through SB 1383?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure with that. We can definitely get back to you if you want to email us that question. Again, I'm still learning about the SB 1383. There is still a lot of uncertainty. We've reached out to Feeding America to get a little bit more clarity. So we are just kind of waiting to hear back on what others are doing around this.
And then Vanessa asks, where do we access the new training? So Vanessa, the new training is on the Nutrition Center under food safety. And then Eleni asks, some items received from the food bank seem to have thawed and refrozen before we receive them, simply by the way they appear. This is the presumption.
Yeah, so you know what, I obviously not seen the food item. That's really hard to answer, but I would say if there is any food in question, we do want you guys to inspect the food delivery as well, right? We do need those extra set of eyes to take a look at the food items. And if there is something in question, we always ask to take a picture. We always ask, take a picture, reach out to your coordinator, your manager, or even to the nutrition team. And we're happy to help guide you through that. We can find that information for you. We can find out if it was something that was sitting in our warehouse for X amount of time. We can find out if we received it frozen, which most meats we do receive frozen, or if it was some other type of food item. But I think the best thing to do, if we want to make sure that the food that is given out, yes, is safe, but you guys also feel safe about it, right? I feel like there's a really big trust issue when handling food and when receiving food, right? you guys trust us that the food that you're receiving from us, whether it's being donated or picking up, that you trust that we've handled it in the right way. And your community members and your neighbors, your clients trust you that you guys have handled it in the right way. So really, again, just to ensure that trust. And if there's something in question, I would say reach out to us. And we're we actually in our nutrition team, we want to know what's going on. We want to know what the concerns are, so we can next year elaborate a little bit more on these webinars. If we don't know what's in question and what clients are saying, we can't really best guide you guys with other information.
All right, and then we have one more question. How long can we use cans without an expiration date written on them? So for this, okay. So we actually recommend that if there is no dates on the can, that you would just discard it, because we don't know what's in the product or how long it's been since you've had it. So to be safe, that we would prefer if you just discarded it altogether. If it is like a bulk shipment, please just reach out to us and we may be able to find out for you.
That's great.
I think that's all for questions for now.
All right, let's move on to the fun stuff.
Okay. Oh. So we're gonna start our raffle now, guys.
Sorry to interrupt, Mary.
yeah.
It looks like we have one last question. Do we have to keep a record of food away? So I'm guessing, Vanessa, did you mean food thrown away?
Yes, sorry, yeah, so it's a typo.
No worries. Just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
And then Vanessa, are you an agency or you are one of our food distributions under the food bank?
I'm an agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not 100% sure on this, but we can reach out to your program manager to connect you with them so you can get a clarification, like a clear answer.
Yeah, I don't believe on our end for the food bank that we need that information, but possibly your agency might be collecting that information.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 raffle winners per county. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with San Mateo County. So our first winner is Susan. Yay!
Yay, Susan.
Okay. And then our next winner will be Raimundo.
Woohoo.
And then our third winner, Norma.
Oh, Norma. Half Moon Bay, Norma.
Congratulations. We will be sending out an email with your gift card maybe within this week. Look forward to it. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to Santa Clara County. This is a really big group, but let's see who wins. Azucena. I hope I said that right. Congrats for being the first winner. Okay, then we have oh, so close. Diana Nguyen. And then our last winner for Santa Clara County would be Yvonne. All right. Yeah, Alex, you want to close it up?
Yeah, so we have a few minutes left. We're gonna stop sharing the screen. Now I can see everybody's face. If anybody has any last questions or comments, feel free to ask questions. We also have a few folks from programs team here that if we can't answer it, can help answer our questions also. We are happy to, we have your email, you have ours if you want to email us with a follow-up question. Again, we are here not just during the webinar and not just during the training time, but we are here endlessly to help out with any food safety questions. And really, it's really about empowering all you guys to be able to then empower your staff and your volunteers to have this really wonderful, safe operating system that that really distributes food in a wonderful way. And I think, Gina, did you have your hand up?
Oh, what were the prizes?
Ah, yes, the prizes are a gift cards to Target. Any other questions? All right, if I don't see anything from the chat, I will give you guys your 5 minutes back to your day. I want to thank you guys all for attending. I want to invite you guys all, please, to go on the Nutrition Center. Check out these wonderful resources. They are created for you guys. They are created for your volunteers, for your staff. Check out the training. Have more than one person, have everybody take the training. It really is a great thing. You get a beautiful certificate after. And again, thank you guys all for everything that you guys do day in and day out. We couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you guys and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Ray still on this call? Oh, Ray, so your question for meat, if the meat is still frozen but the package is bloated, what should the next step be? So we actually did run into this issue not so long ago. For that, we did say that if the meat didn't smell funky or look terrible, then it should be fine to give out. It just happens that sometimes the manufacturer does put in air in the packaging, and that's just their way of packaging their meats.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it for all the questions. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.